Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to find a job that you love and has a meaning. So I'm gonna lead you step by step through the 4 key areas which are important to be aware of if you are deciding on a career change by explaining you the Ikigai exercise. So, if you want to work on your career or you are considering to make a career change, then do stay with me and watch this video. I am a career coach and I help my clients create careers of their dreams by working with me one-on-one or participate in my group coachings. So, is it possible to find a job that you love and has a meaning? And is it possible to find a job that you love and you're really very well paid for it? I invite you to stay with me and do this exercise with me and create your own Ikigai, as it creates and gives such a great insight. So, what is your Ikigai? So, Ikigai is the Japanese technique and there is no direct translation for it, though it defines 4 areas which are crucial for us and which give us the understanding what feeds our motivation that we wake up every single morning. So reflecting on those 4 areas will give us a lot of insight. And those 4 areas are: what do we love to do, what are we good at, what can be paid for, and what the world needs. Ikigai covers 4 areas which I mentioned already, and it's important for us to reflect on those to be able to recognize what do we really love and what has a meaning for us. Those 4 areas are related not only to our job but as well to our motivation. So what really motivates us, and of course then related to our development. Remember back as you were finishing the school and as you were doing all those assessments for the job profiling, or as you were looking for your first job, and even now as you are in front of a career change, those 4 areas are really important to be reflected on, because it will give you a huge insight and it will be easier for you to decide or to create a plan for your career path. So looking at those 4 areas, the first one is of course, what do you love? That's something what goes way back, something what you loved since your childhood. For example, I always loved writing, even though that I'm not good at it, but I love it. And I love moderating different events, and that's something what I really love. So what I recommend you to do that exercise really properly is that you list all the different activities which you love, not only 2 or 3 of them, but really go deep with what you really love because it's important. And then as you do that, then go to the area what you're good at. So if I love writing and I love moderating different events, I'm good at business. I'm really good at planning business, making plans. I've done it since age of 15 as I was doing my first business jobs, and I'm good at that. I'm also good at organizing things and motivating people, so that's something what I am good at. For this area, please do so that you write down what you're good at, so to have more insight and reflect on it. The third area, which is important to be considered and thought about by Ikigai, is of course the area what you can be paid for. If you remember back, what was usually what your parents were saying to you as you were deciding on your education, and for example, what they were suggesting you to become? Usually answer in my family was, do become a doctor or a teacher, but I never wanted that. I always wanted to have a combination of business and creativity and have that business freedom, and that was very important for me. So I never studied medicine, for example, but that's something what you can really be paid for. That's what our parents believe, that you can really be very paid for, so you will be provided by your life. So for that area as well, write down. Maybe you're good in mechanics. Maybe you are you can be paid for engineering, so becoming an engineer, becoming a doctor, or becoming a teacher. So this is something you can be paid for, and you know that delivers resources for your life and providing your family. And of course, on the other hand, if you are only doing something which is like writing, but you don't know how to make money out of it, then of course that's not something what you consider to be paid for at the moment. And then the 4th area, which rarely is covered in the profiling of jobs, or which we might also not consider as we think about our job which we love and has a meaning for us, that's the area of what the world needs. So something what's needed in the world. And if we think now what's needed in the world, what the world needs, we need empathy, a lot of empathy. We need a lot of knowledge on digital technologies, which is currently needed. What world needs is the environmental consciousness, so taking care of our environment. And if you write all those things down, you will get the list of all the things and insights and reflection on what do you consider at the current moment that the world needs. So covering those 4 areas is something which will provide you the understanding which Ikigai as an exercise is a great on. But now we will go on the second step. I'll explain you how all those 4 areas merge together and what is the insight which Ikigai can provide. So I said that I'll explain what happens with Ikigai if we join all 4 areas of what we love, what we are good at, what we can be paid for, and what the world needs. So Ikigai is that Japanese concept I mentioned earlier, which is not there is no translation direct, but it has that meaning of reason for being. So Ikigai is a concept which presents and explains our reason for being. Something which really helps us to get up every single morning, the reason for being why we are never late if you really enjoy something. So it's really our deep meaning and understanding of what we truly love, what we are good at, and what the world needs, and that's really the combination of all those 4 areas. But before going there, for example, if we think about our career or our jobs or our lives, what really drives us and what motivates us. If we do something what we really love and we combine that with something that we are good at, then we get something which is called passion. I'll use that red just to make it simpler. So passion is something we are really good at and something what we really love. Now on the other hand, if we join what we love and with something what really the world needs, environmental issues, and we are very passionate about that, then we get something what is called mission. Our global awareness of something which will make a change. Nor for passion, nor for mission, we are really paid for, because those do not include the activities or the jobs or our desires which we can be paid for. So considering those 2, those can really be something what drives us, our internal drives. And then on the other hand, if we think about our job or our work or career, and if we think about what we really are good at and what we can be paid for, then we get a profession. So that's our professional expertise field, profession. Sorry. So, and if we join the what you can be paid for and what the world needs, then we get something which is called vocation. Vocation, it's a calling, so something global. We can be paid for, but it really has that global meaning, and it's called vocation. So we get, if we are good at and we can be paid for, that's profession. If we can be paid for and if we know that this is something what the world needs, then we get to the vocation. And passion and mission are on the field where we really love something for doing it we are good at, or love something for doing because we know that the world needs. So if we join all 4 areas of what we love, what we are good at, what we can be paid for, and what really world needs, we get the Ikigai. And Ikigai is really our reason for being, something what will drive us constantly and what will provide the opportunity really to get up every single morning, to never be late for a meeting, to work every single day because we know there is job to be done. And if you really enjoy it, you're passionate about it, you can be paid for, and you know it has impact to the world, then that's the Ikigai. And that's our intrinsic motivation, which drives the self-development, but which also helps us to enjoy the job or work which we selected. So as considering a career change, do pay attention that you list the activities for every single of those 4 areas and join those activities. For example, if I love writing, I am good at business, and I would like to work on something which the world needs currently and I can be paid for, then I could, for example, work on writing the papers and all the announcements about environmental consciousness, and find the opportunity that I will be part of the project which is financed by European Union or financed by UNESCO. So I could use my really passion to create something good out of it and to create a business project, because my business skills will enable me, of course, to get the finances needed. Looking at the picture of Ikigai, of course, it provides huge insight. If you write down activities for every single area, it will be really helpful. But do pay attention, because if we are going through the exercise, there are also some areas which cover 3 of our circles but not the 4th one. So I'd like to explain those to you as well. For example, if you do something which is really what you love, what you're good at, and what you are paid for, so that's that circle here, then that's something what really can give you a good feeling and you will be paid for, but you will feel useless, because there will be no meaning for what the world really needs. So it's the feeling of uselessness which you will have here. If you have a job, for example, which is where you are good at, you are paid for it, and you're doing something what the world needs, but you don't love it, so that's somewhere here, then you have the feeling of emptiness, because you are doing something but you are not loving. But if you do something what you really love, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, then you are not doing something you're good at, then this can give you a feeling of uncertainty, because you are not good at, so you are uncertain. And there is the 4th area where 3 circles, 3 areas are covered. If you're doing something what you're good at, you love, and what the world needs, but you are not paid for, then of course you have that feeling of fulfillment, but you don't have any wealth. So you can't live from that if you are not paid for it. So in general, do take in consideration those 4 areas and think about your reason for being. If you do that, you will be able to identify something what you will really love, and you will really have a meaning and understand the meaning of it. So if you join all those 4 areas and you really find a job which you will love, you will be good at, you will be paid for, and you will have a feeling that it's something what you need, you will really have something where you will have a meaning of being. Then you will have a job which you will fully enjoy, and there will be no question of motivation. And I love you to work on that. Work on those 4 areas and create something you will have a meaning of, your meaning for being. And if you need additional help, then of course you can download my career planning method, which is here in the link below. And of course, if you love this video, give me a like and do subscribe to join us next time again, so you'll be notified every single time I post a video. I believe that Ikigai is something which really provides huge insight, and it's good to reflect on it, really to create a path you will be fully enjoying and you will be really not only proud of, but really paid off, and you have that feeling of that you really know what the reason and the meaning of your work and your career is. So going through the Ikigai and the whole story, now you know that there are 4 areas that have to be reflected on. And if you think of yourself, and if you look at the list of activities you wrote down for what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and or what the world needs, then join all those activities and find out what is something, what is your Ikigai. So your Ikigai formula is the joint activities, all those 4 areas. That's a job which you will enjoy on a long term, and that's a career which really can become a career of your dreams. And if you remember now back, as you were saying that you are really passionate about your job and you are really good at what you are doing, but you are still missing something, you are still looking for more, you have that desire to change, then most probably either you are not working or doing something what the world needs, or what you are really good paid for it. So imagine every single time as you will find yourself in a situation that there will be something you will be missing, either in your job or your career or your private life, or as you will be looking for your development, then look at what is missing, or those 4 Ikigai areas, and then you will be able to identify and to create a long-lasting career you will enjoy, a job you can be proud of. I believe this was helpful, and I invite you to use that exercise and work on it several times, as you had that feeling that something might be missing in your life. And I believe that this is really something which can bring you a long-lasting enjoyment in your professional and your private life. So do work on your Ikigai and check it if everything, all those 4 areas are aligned with what you really desire in your life. So join me next time, and until then, take care, think bold, act fast, be fierce, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.